Hi everyone, welcome back to the Closet Confession Podcast. I'm your hostess Maria, and today is going to be another therapy session episode where you're going to be my therapist and I was going to be confessing my heart out. So, on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about surrendering to God's plans. Something that I've been struggling and dealing with for the last, I think my whole life, but more in particular the last 3 years. And we're gonna find out the reason why. So I grew up with a divorced family, and I'm mentioning that because I believe that this is where everything stems from. It wasn't the easiest divorce. It was a lot of fighting. It was a lot of uncontrolled situations and a lot of questions, a lot of fear in terms of housing situation, my dad disappearing. So it was a lot of insecurities growing up. I think the reason why I moved to London, it was to just try to escape of the divorce, because if I wasn't living with them or in the same country, then it's I don't have to face anything. So it was a really good escape, I guess. I couldn't wait to go, and I definitely learned a lot of things. But moving to a new country that I've never even visited before, and I don't recommend anybody do that. If you want to move to another country or a state, visit first so you know what you're going to be dealing with. So yeah, I moved there, not knowing anything, and obviously I didn't have any family or parent or friends there, so I had to take control of everything. And for the first time, get a job, saving, budgeting, taking care of the groceries, everything, everything that as a new adult, can you say that? Anyways, and you're opening up to the real world, you have to face. So it's a lot of things that you have to take control for the first time. And I think that that's how I lived the rest of my life, from college to come to the US, figuring out how to get a green card. There's so many things I had to take control of, a lot of stress, but that's all I knew. Unfortunately, at that time, I don't know if it was an LA thing, I got introduced to the law of attraction, which is literally controlling everything. You're the god of your own reality, and it's about manifesting. It's about you know exactly what you want, even though what you want might not be always the right thing for you. And that's another reason why I started having doubts about law of attraction, because I don't believe that we have the wisdom to know exactly if that what we want is right for us. And law of attraction is all about, whatever you want, you'll get it as long as you're manifesting, focusing, and you have a positive energy about it. So it's a pretty dumb idea, but you can understand why it just made even more sense for me to be in the follow the law of attraction. So I had already lived my life, been in control of everything, and then manifesting in law of attraction. It was that times 10. So it was up until COVID. I mean, during COVID, I think that a lot of people had enough time to slow down and start seeing, their life, their relationships, their purpose. It was a time of a lot of stress, because all these limits we had with people, with wearing masks and all that. So that's when I felt the most depressed in my life, and law of attraction was not working for me. So I felt I hit rock bottom. I felt that I lost my purpose. I didn't have at the time I didn't really have a boyfriend, and I was kind of staying with not really staying, but I was visiting my twin sister a lot with her husband. And, seeing her in a relationship, not just a relationship, but married, made me, I'm happy for her, don't get me wrong, but it's just because we're twins, it's made me feel, what if I can lose her, right? So that on top, I just had a really, really hard time during those years, and manifesting was not working for me. I would do all this visualizations. And it's good to visualize, even if you're a Christian, but not visualize to control, visualize to feel a little better and to have a purpose. So yeah, nothing was working out for me, and I felt so hopeless. And that's when I started regaining my faith to God. But that's the thing. When you become a Christian, you really have to let go of control. I became a Christian again. I started slowly believing, because I prayed one night, even though I wasn't believing at that time. I prayed and I asked for help. And a couple of weeks later, it got delivered. So, that's not a coincidence, man. And actually, I let go of control when I asked for help, because I didn't ask for a specific thing. I asked God for the best thing, the best solution for my situation. And that's when some really crazy situation happened and I ended up moving to Miami. And even though I don't like Miami, I love it, but I don't like living there. It was the best thing that happened to me at that time. It was exactly what I needed. I left everyone here, but I had no fear. I was so excited. Yeah. And that's because I let go of control. Because I asked God to show me a sign for my next move. And it was perfect timing, everything. But as I said, becoming a Christian, you really have to let go of control and surrender. And I have such a hard time with that. So I moved to Miami. Everything was going well. Again, I talked about bartending and my industry in Miami is very, very corrupted. So I would jump from one bar to another until I literally never found the right place. And that's why I came back to LA. But I was always trying to control everything. Like I would message, DM people from clubs. I knew directors, managers. I was going to interviews and I already knew who's the general manager. So I was doing my research. I was obsessed over getting, this place is going to be the best for me. I can't wait. I was obsessed with finding opportunities and going for interviews. And the thing is, with interviews, I was doing a great job. You can tell that I love talking and I also have experience and I have the personality to be a bartender and I also fucking love the job. So it's crazy because I would leave the interview feeling amazing about myself and then I would not get it. And on top of that, my sister, because we were going to interviews together, didn't do the research, wasn't really coming prepared, didn't really care, hated. She doesn't really like bartending. I'm not going to say hate, but she doesn't love it the way I do. So it got together. I wouldn't get a job. And on top of that, my sister would get it. And that hasn't happened once. It happened at least 4 times. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is it me doing all this work, researching, obsessing? We have to be on time. We have to be prepared, dressed up. And then I wouldn't get it. And the more I was trying, the more I was pushing it away from me. And I knew that was a sign. I said it before that I like doing new things. I like challenges. And I've always wanted to do something in like the acting world or like in front of camera, presenting something like that. But in Miami, I was so focused, so consumed by trying to find the best bar job that I left everything behind. I didn't even put down anything. You know what? This is what I want to do. Let's get back to it. I did a couple of like films, like short like roles in a few films, and that was it. I was literally losing myself, my purpose, why I came to the US. So I feel that was a sign, not getting any of those jobs, because if I did, I would have not come back to LA. I think that me trying so much and not getting anything was a sign from God that you have to let go of control. Because a lot of times would be my ego. I can't believe I didn't get it. Did my sister get it? I was getting depressed. I was getting upset. I think it was me just trying to control everything and God closing every single door for me so I can focus on something else. So moved back to LA. Well, I moved back in a very slow month for my industry. And even though I'm thankful for coming back, it was a really tough time because I came back without having any jobs, anything. And I'm not used to that. I've been working since I was 17. So I'm not used to not working. A job really affects how I feel about myself. I guess my worth is my work for myself. I'm not saying it is right. I'm just saying that I realized that eventually that's how I feel. It's not my looks. It's not my relationships. How good I am at my work and my future, my career. Future. What was I saying? Anyways, yeah, I came back trying to again, just applying everywhere, over and over again. Nothing. Oh, I ended up getting a few things, and I'm thankful for that. And obviously, the fact that I'm not full time in any of the bar jobs that I have, it gave me the time to focus on this, applying for content creation jobs and podcasts. And that's how I got my other podcast job. But I feel like I still try to control things. And I know that because when I meet people and I find out that they work in the industry or in, the entertainment or bartending, I always kind of try to push, say, oh, this is a great connection. And I'm a good diplomat. So, it's always, oh, maybe this can be an opportunity instead of like enjoying meeting new people. Because I do. It's always this virus in me, like, oh, maybe they could help me. And not in a bad way, because I always help people with jobs. Like, the amount of times that I help people get a job in Miami, even after I left, I would help people, connect them to my previous employers. So I'm not saying that I'm trying to use people. I'm just seeing people as opportunity. And that's me, again, controlling. And 2026, I can't even believe I'm saying that. 2026 is coming, and this is my goal. This is my New Year resolution, to let go of control and surrendering to God's plans. Because I don't have the wisdom. I don't know what's right for me. I cannot compare my limited wisdom with God's unlimited, abundant, and endless wisdom. And I feel that I do the same thing with also relationships. And this particular person that is hard for me to let go of. I tried so many times. I tried to block them. I tried to forget them. And again, I'm trying to control it. And it should have been like that. Even if I get him, I don't think that it's going to make me happy if I get him because of me trying to manipulate everything, the situation. No. Like, tell me a romantic movie that the girl actually manipulated the situation. No, it's always like they met at a coffee shop or out of nowhere, or it just life brought them together. It's never, one person manipulating. And if that's the case, then it's probably the antagonistic, I don't remember, protagonistic, whatever, that word. It's always a bad person that's trying to manipulate the situation, and then they get fucked in the end, right? So yeah, I think control is something I'm really struggling with professionally and personally, I guess. And talking about movies, I am done watching Hallmark movies. First of all, the acting is really bad. But the other part is that every time I fall in love with like the star of the movie, and it's like, what's going on? I need to get a life and maybe a boyfriend, maybe. Yeah, trying to stay away from Hallmark movies. Because it's always the same story also. Like this author chef that goes to this town in the middle of nowhere that nobody knows, and then she meets the love of her life. Like, why can it not be a bartender / podcaster from Torrance that meets her Prince Charming in a gym or the bar? Or I don't know, Instagram or TikTok. But it's never the case. So maybe Hallmark has to be a little bit more creative and up-to-date, modern. Yeah, let's work on that, please. Anyways, I think you guys had a lot of me for today. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I want to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'm going to see you guys at the next one. Bye.